very good evening to you. Many thanks for joining us tonight on the broadcast. And as Kenyatta University is a happy day, we are celebrating the 55th anniversary of graduation ceremonies in the university. Now, this is a day also that the president has talked about, has made a state address of the first batch of the 11 nominated cabinet secretaries. We will be looking at that and many other stories, but first, let's get the highlights. Familiar and new faces. Ruto announces first batch of his proposed new cabinet. (3,011) graduates from Kenyatta University commissioned to the global stage during the 55th graduation ceremony. Eight out of 38 candidates shortlisted for the position of Deputy Inspector General of the Police Service. And Kisii Clinical intends to take it on streets in 2 weeks if the allowance arrears are not settled.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Anyango, Sylvia.
That's right, and our sign language interpreter tonight is John Opio. Remember, this broadcast is also live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya, and you can engage with us on X at KUTV_Kenya at Anyango Sylvia KE. We begin. Now, President William Ruto has announced the first batch of his new cabinet in the 11 list nomination today at State House, Nairobi. Former Interior and National Coordination Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki, his defense counterpart Aden Duale are among the familiar faces that resurfaced in the list. Our political affairs reporter Auma Evans dissected the new list and nominees and filed the following report.
I nominate the following first batch.
Barely a month after President William Ruto made a landmark announcement sending his 21 cabinet secretaries, including the Attorney General Justin Biden Muturi, packing, today the head of state has nominated the first batch of his new cabinet secretaries.
Professor Kithure Kindiki. Ministry of Health, Dr. Deborah Mulongo Baraza. Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, Alice Wahome. Ministry of Education, Julius Migosi Ogamba.
In the 11 nomination list announced today by President William Ruto at State House, Nairobi, former Trade and Investment Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano is on the verge of making history as Kenya's first female Attorney General, should the Parliament approve her nomination. Another notable names that are set to make a comeback in the William Ruto-led government is the former Interior CS Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki, Defense CS Aden Duale, former Energy CS Davis Chirchir. Soipan Tuya retains her Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry docket should Parliament okay their nomination. Ruto also made 5 changes to his proposed cabinet. In the new appointments, Julius Ogambo, who was Machogu's running mate in the Kisii gubernatorial race, has been assigned to oversee the Ministry of Education. Mulongo Barasa has been named as Cabinet Secretary for Health. Andrew Mia has been appointed as the new Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture, while Eric Mureithi takes on the role of Minister for Water. According to Ruto, the nomination followed consultations across political divide in an attempt to bring back peace and sanity to the country after chaos that rocked the country due to Gen Z protests witnessed across the country.
Additionally, I will be issuing next week a clear roadmap on the assignment that the new cabinet is going to have, with clear timelines and deliverables for us to harness and drive our country to greatness.
What remains to be seen is whether President William Ruto will heed the call of Gen Z of a cabinet inclusive of young people, Mama Mboga and Boda Boda operator in the second phase of his nomination. Auma Evans for KUTV, Nairobi.
Now back at home, years of research and countless experiments for more than 3,000 graduates of Kenyatta University today culminated in the conferment of PhDs, Masters, Postgraduate Diploma, Certificate, and Diploma and Bachelor's degrees in a colorful event attended by dignitaries from various other universities and representatives from the government. As Theo Mashara reports, a call for the graduates to stand out and bring change to their society dominated the speeches of key speakers during the event.
Joined in to celebrate this academic. As excitement and smiles filled KU's graduation square for the 55th time, dignitaries, distinguished guests and government representatives joined in to celebrate this academic milestone for over 3,000 graduates. In his speech as the newest and fifth Chancellor of the university, Ambassador Dr. Francis Muthaura extended his congratulations to all graduates, challenging them to employ the skills learned to bring solutions to the dynamic needs of the society.
These include the rapid pace of technological changes and global competition in all fields, which demands constant updating of skills and knowledge.
KU's acting Vice-Chancellor underscored the various opportunities KU offers, assuring the graduates of a very bright future thanks to the high absorption rate of KU's graduates into the market.
Graduates today, that as you step into the next chapter of your lives, remember that you carry with you the values, the knowledge imparted to you by Kenyatta University for the duration of time you have been with us. You are ambassadors of the Kenyatta University brand.
Principal Secretary of the State Department for University Education, through her representative, encouraged the graduates to adopt a continuous learning mindset, one essential for networking and thriving in the market.
I therefore urge our dear graduates today to embrace innovation and creativity as they endure to be job creators. Our economy is largely agri-based, and we are living in a global world controlled by ICT.
And with a cloud of uncertainty shrouding the new university funding model, State Department for University Education assured the parents and continuing learners present of the national government's commitment to ensuring the contentious issues raised about the funding model are addressed satisfactorily.
The new funding model for students in tertiary institutions is meant to increase access to university education, particularly for the marginalized and vulnerable students. The ministry is aware of the challenges that still exist, particularly with the new funding model, and we are working to streamline it.
Moments after being commissioned, the graduates, together with their families, could not hide their joy.
And it is good to be associated with such a university, because most of the time when you are looking for a job, you ask which university you are. And when you mention Kenyatta, automatically you read the others.
I really enjoyed my life and my time and my study in this university. And I would recommend everyone who wants to pursue their education to come to Kenyatta University.
One thing about KU is the love for each other.
Gave me all the opportunity, and they were willing all the time to support me.
I love how our computer science lecturers, they were hands-on with us, especially I'll do a shout out to Winnie Washira. She was a good lecturer to us.
What I will remember about Kenyatta University and top of my life is the quality of education that was there. It was amazing.
The thing that I'll remember most about KU is the lecturers, like Jane Anderson mentioned, and also the unique experiences that I had with my friends and the networks that I've made.
We practiced our skills in the labs, which clearly you can see has translated into us getting into the job market.
From the Kenyatta University classrooms, 3,202 graduates have been commissioned to the global stage by their newly installed Chancellor, Ambassador Professor Francis Muthaura. And one thing remains clear from all the graduates, and this is striving to make change to the world and be better leaders. Theo Masharia, Kenyatta University, Nairobi.
Now, congratulations to the new graduates in town. Now, former head of civil service, Ambassador Francis Muthaura, has today, during the Kenyatta University 55th graduation, been installed as the new Chancellor of the university, following his appointment by President William Ruto in February earlier this year. Muthaura prides a rich career of civil service and diplomatic postings behind him, serving 3 heads of state in different capacity. He takes over from Benson Wairegi and will serve for a term of 5 years.
In the thick of the flurry of celebration at the Kenyatta University 55th graduation ceremony, Friday was also a special day for former head of civil service Francis Muthaura, who was today installed as the new chancellor, following his appointment by President William Ruto in February earlier this year.
The Chancellor of Kenyatta University, Ambassador Dr. Francis Muthaura.
And as Muthaura opens a new chapter in his life today, he leaves behind a vast career in civil service and diplomacy, having served 3 heads of state in a span of over 40 years in government. During Moi's reign, Muthaura scaled the heights of diplomatic relations, securing prestigious postings in the United Nations and European Union, and ambassadorial roles in Belgium and the United Kingdom. At the tail end of Moi's reign, Muthaura served as Secretary General to the East African Commission. For close to a decade during the late former President Mwai Kibaki's tenure, Dr. Muthaura served as the head of civil service, maintaining a pole position in Kibaki's government, taking part in the crafting of Vision 2030 that remains a landmark strategy in the history of Kenya. Under Uhuru Kenyatta, Muthaura landed plum government appointments, chairing the Kenya Revenue Authority Board and heading the LAPSSET management that oversaw the construction of Lamu Port. All of this was before he was appointed Chancellor of Kenyatta University by President William Ruto.
First and foremost, my family and I extend our heartfelt gratitude to President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, CJH, for this very important appointment.
Muthaura takes over from exiting Chancellor Benson Wairegi and will serve for a term of 5 years. Muneneweru, KUTV.
Even with the chilly July weather, the 55th anniversary of Kenyatta University graduation ceremony held at the university's graduation ground was a colorful moment for the graduates and loved ones, as 3,011 students graduated with different degrees. It was a historic day for the graduates as a new dawn awaits. Pauline Dungu paints us the picture tonight.
All clad in their respective academic attires, Kenyatta University's class of 2024 finally received their crowning achievements that they have been working towards for the last couple of years. One by one, the processions made their way to the square. First came the graduates' processions, followed by the academic procession. As the Chancellor's procession finally made its way to the graduation square, the event officially began. The ceremony kicked off with some entertainment to lighten the mood and warm up the congregation considering the cold morning weather. And in the end, the entertainers did not disappoint.
Principal Secretary, State.
Many joined in celebrating the occasion with their loved ones. Among them were proud parents, siblings, aunties, uncles, and even grandparents who traveled from upcountry to witness the beautiful day as their son or daughter reached new milestone. As the cold July wind whispered through the trees, nothing could stop the graduates from smiling throughout the colorful occasion. The graduates adorned their beautiful caps and gowns, ladies looking like angels straight from heaven, and gentlemen looking sharp with their suits awaiting for their new journey.
Kenyatta University.
One of the highlights being when the graduates marched on stage to receive their degrees. Their faces were filled with joy as families and friends filled the air with electric sounds of cheers. The day concluded with happy songs as each family sang and danced to celebrate their graduate. They also took pictures to captivate the moment and keep it forever with them.
Siku la leo ni siku yangu ya furaha kubwa sana katika maisha yangu. Kwa sababu ya hiyo ni kusema kwamba Mungu amekuwa mwaminifu kwangu pamoja na familia yangu, na ninamshukuru Mungu sana kwa sababu amewezesha msichana wangu ambao ameweza kugraduate siku ya leo.
As graduates made colorful memories with their families, this marks a new beginning, a new chapter in their lives. Congratulations. Ndongo Pauline, KUTV.
Now moving on away from Kenyatta University graduation following the resignation of former Inspector General of Police Japheth Koome on July 1st this year, 8 candidates have been selected by the National Police Service Commission NPSC for the positions of Deputy Inspector General of the Kenya Police Service DIG KPS and Deputy Inspector General of the Administration Police Service. Joylin Akware tells us more.
The National Police Service Commission has shortlisted 8 candidates for the positions of Deputy Inspector General Kenya Police Service and Deputy Inspector General Administration Police Service. National Police Service Commission CEO Peter Lelei announced that George Adero Seda, Eliud Kipkoech Lagat, Tom Boya Odero, and Dr. Vincent Kinas Makoha have been shortlisted for the Deputy Inspector General Kenya Police role, with Gilbert Masengeli, Margaret Nyambura Karanja, James Mukuha Kamau, and Dr. Masood Mwinyi being shortlisted for the Deputy Inspector General Administration Police Service position. This comes after former Inspector General of Police Japheth Koome resigned on July 12th. With the resignation, Douglas Kanja, who was the Deputy Inspector General of Kenya Police Service, was appointed as the Interim Inspector General of the National Police Service. Interviews for the shortlisted candidates have been scheduled for Monday, July 22nd, 2024. A total of 38 individuals applied for these positions, following an advertisement by the Commission, with 21 applying for Deputy Inspector General Kenya Police Service and 13 for Deputy Inspector General Administration Police Service, while other applicants did not specify their preferred positions. The public has been encouraged to submit any relevant information about the candidates through written memoranda to the Commission's chairperson or online by next week. Joylin Akware, KUTV.
Now taking you back to the President's nomination, the latest CS nominations list has seen several CS remain out of in the cold, as their various dockets could potentially be handed over to other newer faces. Among these are former Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu, Health CS Susan Nakumicha, and former Agriculture CS Mithika Linturi. Mithika has been on the headlines for the infamous fertilizer scandal during his tenure. Our reporter Emma Mwangi explores that bit.
With the president's latest announcement to nominate another cabinet, several cabinet secretaries have seen themselves remain out in the cold as the president introduces new faces to the cabinet. Former Health CS Susan Nakumincha will now be replaced by Dr. Deborah Mulongo during her tenure. Susan Nakumincha has had her fair share of trials and tribulations, with one notable event being the recent doctors' strike that began in March and went on for months. During this time, the CS was criticized for how she handled the situation up to the time the doctors striked a deal and returned to work. Education CS Ezekiel Machogu is now out as his former running mate Julius Ogamba is now nominated to replace him. The Education Ministry has had its own set of challenges as under Ruto's watch, public education has deteriorated further after saying that he was not the right person for the job and that he was driving our education sector into the ground. Mithika Linturi, former Agriculture CS, who has in the past been on the spot over the subsided fertilizer scandal, is also out. On the other side, 6 cabinet secretaries have been retained, and among them is CS Professor Kithure Kindiki, who in the past has been as some of the most active CSs, with him having been ranked as one of the most active CSs in Ruto's cabinet in a previous report. Emma Mwangi, KUTV.
Now that story by Emma takes us to a very fast break. Don't go far, we'll be back with more stories.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuini. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari-ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake, nami Caroline Kimweli.
This Monday on KUTV News. Against all odds.
Especially my mom. She actually believed that I was bewitched.
We will be looking at a story of one Joyce Musyoka who ditched her insurance profession and started her own natural oil processing company from scratch.
After my boss realized I was quitting, his first reaction was that, Joyce, you are either very clever or very stupid.
Join me, Emma Mwangi, as I explore Joyce Musyoka's journey in business. Don't miss Profession to Passion this Monday at 6:30 and 9 p.m. on KUTV News.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Anyango Sylvia.
Welcome back. Now, thank you for staying with us this far. And clinical interns in Kisii County have issued a 2-week strike notice to compel their employers to address their allowance arrears and other working conditions. According to the interns, they have not received their allowances for more than 3 months, despite them dutifully attending to their task. Ivy Masharia with more details.
United shall never be defeated. Our people.
Clinical interns in Kisii have decided to tackle their setbacks concerning their pending allowance arrears and other working conditions by issuing a 2-week strike notice to their employers. Despite them attending to their duties, they have not been given their allowance for more than 3 months. General Secretary of Kenya Union of Clinical Officers George Gibure chastised the government for taxing the interns despite their meager earnings while claiming to offer services to Kenyans. He urged Kenyans to keep pushing for change, but congratulated President Ruto for his steps in the right direction by sacking cabinet secretaries who were not performing well in their dockets.
When you look at the government being comfortable saying they are offering services to Kenyan and they pay them 15,000, which is taxable, they only remain with 9,000, I think it is a dismay to Kenyan. And this is why Kenyan must continue to push for the change we want. And at least I want to appreciate for the president for asking some of these ministers who have not been assisting him, like Nakumicha, to go home.
An intern, Jeremy Nick, lamented on how difficult it was to provide services to Kenyans while barely having enough for basic commodities. He urged the government to release their funds for more efficient services.
And we have been here for the past 120 days with no pay. And we are posted here to offer services for the nation. Actually, you cannot be offering services and yet there's nothing in your pocket. You'll be suffering and yet. Imagine I'm having blood stains with even no soap in my house just to pay for the basic commodities. So I'm urging the government actually to release our funds.
We have been here working, really working, not just working the usual working days. Like we work daily from Monday to Monday, no offs. And from Monday to Monday, the time is from 8 up to 8 in the evening, sometimes even further. We do night shifts, and the pay is very meager, by the way.
Another intern, Lucy Motela, bemoaned on the interns' long working hours and little returns and urged the government to be considerate and to not do the same to the incoming interns. Ivy Masharia, KUTV.
The government has set out an ambitious plan to eradicate malaria in the country by 2030. Principal Secretary for the State Department for Public Health and Professional Standards, Mary Muthoni, on Thursday held talks with the Kilifi County leadership to deliberate on the efforts to promote the initiative.
According to the Ministry of Health, the country's malaria prevalence stands at 6%, with efforts now in place to bring down the numbers to the barest minimum. Public Health and Professional Standards PS Mary Muthoni says the government is distributing 15 million nets across 22 counties that are greatly affected by malaria, translating to about 25 million Kenyans who are at risk.
Hii neti si ya kuuza. Tafadhali, neti ni ya kuwekelea juu ya kitanda na wewe unalala ndani yake na mbu nje. Neti isiende ikapande ikafungiwe mimea kule kwa mshamba.
In Kilifi, the government targets about 1.9 million residents, as the county's Deputy Governor Florambet Sachibule said the county government has set a target of reducing prevalence by 50%. She urged those staying around arid areas to always use mosquito nets in order to avoid in-situ transmission of malaria.
Ni wito wangu kuambia wanakilifi wote, haswa wale ambao wanaketi maeneo ambao kuna ziwa ama mahali ambapo pamenyesha mvua kali, alafu kuna maji yameketi, ya kwamba tusaidiane. Neti kweli inatusaidia, lakini pia kuna masuala ya mazingira ambayo lazima tuyashukulie kipaumbele ili tuhakikishe tuna destroy yale maeneo ambayo yana mbu.
One of the residents in Kilifi by the name Idza claimed the mosquitoes have multiplied because of uncontrolled wastes, which at times attract houseflies and more mosquitoes, which are also found in stagnant waters around the dump sites.
Tumechoka na janga la malaria, na sasa umbu wamekuwa wengi kwa sababu matakataka ni mengi. So umbu wakipata mahali kwenye maji umbu wanakaa, wanatusumbua. Kwa hivyo tunaomba neti zitumike kwa kitu inayostahili, kwa njia inayostahili. Si tutumie kwa kuzibia vifaranga makurabu.
The government is remarkably working hand in hand to distribute long-lasting insecticide-treated mosquito nets across the nation. Becky Massey, reporting for KUTV.
Comedy Kenya, in collaboration with ADRA Finland, is using grammar to address school dropout rates and enhance education standards in Migori County. The initiative, called Empower Her, utilizes grammar to tackle the issues of school dropouts, focusing on retaining children in school and encouraging re-entry for those who have left.
Kuria, that is Ntimaru Sub-County, and Kuria East Sub-County, we have teen pregnancy, child labor, early marriages, school dropout. But today we chose one of the social aspect under school dropout. And we are using grammar to talk about school dropout.
COVID Kenya has really tried. They have brought our teachers on board, our learners. They have built their capacity to understand the challenges that go with learner dropout. And currently, I would say the rate is going down. The rate of child dropout is going down. And even the teenage pregnancy is actually reducing.
Tonight, we bring you 3 major stories from across the globe. In the United States, Donald Trump delivers a powerful speech at the Republican convention, calling for unity while taking aim at his political rival Joe Biden. In Bangladesh, deadly protests escalate as demonstrators set fire to the state TV headquarters amid a crackdown on internet access. And in Europe, Ursula von der Leyen secures another term as president of the European Commission.
I stand before you this evening with a message of confidence, strength, and hope. 4 months from now, we will have an incredible victory, and we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country.
In America, Donald Trump preached a message of unity and strength as he accepted the Republican presidential nomination for the 3rd time on Thursday night. Speaking to a hushed crowd, Trump recounted a recent attempt on his life, suggesting divine intervention had saved him.
When I heard a loud whizzing sound and felt something hit me really, really hard on my right ear, I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet. And moved. I felt very safe because I had God on my side. I felt that.
When stressing national togetherness, Trump did not hold back sharp jibes at Democratic Party leader, including criticism of Joe Biden policies. Despite the jabs, he only mentioned Biden's name once, calling him one of the worst presidents in history. Elsewhere, protesters in Bangladesh set fire to the headquarters of the state broadcaster on Thursday as violence crashes between students and police continued. The protests, which have left at least 17 people dead and hundreds injured, are driven by students demanding change to a system that has reserved a third of public sector jobs for relatives or veterans of the country's war for independence from Pakistan in 1971. On the other hand, European Parliament re-elected Ursula von der Leyen as a president of European Commission in the secret ballot on 18th June with 401 votes in a par.
A more personal remark. I cannot begin without expressing how much I am grateful for the trust and the confidence of the majority of the European Parliament. 401 votes in favor. You recall last time it was 8 votes above the majority, necessary majority. This time it's 41. So much better. And this sends a strong message of confidence, and I think it's also recognition for the hard work that we carried out together.
This marks Ursula van der Leyen's second term as a commission president, having first been elected by MPs in July 2019. Her elections signals continued stability and direction for the European Union amidst a challenging global landscape. Watching Cynthia for KUTV News.
Now with that international roundup, we are taking a very short break. Sports is on the other side of the break.
Unajua vifaranga inatoa hiyo droppings yake every now and then. Zikikula inaenda inatoa. Sasa inatakikana uweke hiyo sawdust. Hiyo sawdust ina absorb hiyo droppings.
As climate change threatens traditional agriculture, unpredictable weather patterns and poor farming practices endanger food safety and security.
A lot of soil has depleted its fertility right now, and the more you add fertilizer, the more acidic the soil becomes.
One innovation stands out: hydroponic farming in greenhouses where nutrient-rich water replaces soil, enhancing growth and reducing environmental impact.
Like hydroponics is just like soilless farming. So here we're using pumice. Our pumice is an inert media. It doesn't have any elements, any minerals at all.
Join me, Kimani James Baraka, this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. and 9 p.m. on Agribusiness as we explore how hydroponic greenhouse farming is transforming agriculture. Only on KUTV.
Are you healthy, or rather, do you maintain a healthy lifestyle? According to WHO, health is regarded as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. Welcome to Focus on Health, a show on all matters health, wellness, and lifestyle. On this show, we cover a wide variety of topics inclusive of, but not limited to, dental, optical, mental, reproductive health, and so much more. Join me, Joy Bofenda, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on KUTV for compelling insights and discussions on all matters health. See you then.
Focus on Health, your weekly dose of health and wealth information on KUTV.
Welcome back, and in sports tonight, Tusker FC coach Robert Matano has left the club after 6 years with the Breweries. The high-achieving coach, whose contract ended but failed to renew, led Tusker FC to 3 Football Kenya Federation's Premier League titles before leaving unceremoniously. Matano was first appointed as Tusker FC coach in 2012 before leaving a year later, then again rejoining them in 2018. He had previously won the KPL crown with Sofapaka in their maiden season in top-flight football. Matano's exit from Tusker was always going to be a matter of when rather than if, after several incidents of disagreements with the management board on several club policies. Principal Secretary for Sports Peter Tum and the National Olympic Committee of Kenya President Paul Tegat have released to the public a list of 161 delegations traveling to France for the Paris Olympics this July. The team is composed of 3 government officials and 124 athletes, including coaches, managers, physiotherapists, and doctors, as well as 26 internationally appointed technical officials and referees, 3 umpires, and 3 representatives of the Olympic family. The list was released following demands for government accountability of public funds after reports that there were joyriders who planned to travel on government's expenditure emerged. And Manchester City have confirmed the signing of Brazilian international and former Girona winger Savino. The winger caught the eye of the Premier League champions Manchester City with a stunning campaign for Girona that saw him score 11 goals and register 10 assists, helping Girona to a 3rd place finish in La Liga and earn them Champions League football for the 2024-2025 season. Savino's signing is expected to offer the star-studded side options up front, with Pep Guardiola hoping to add dynamism to the champions' attack line. Now that is it from us. Thank you so much for choosing KUTV and for staying with us this far. Our sign language interpreter tonight has been John Opio. And I'm Anyango, Sylvia. Have a good night and a nice weekend.